Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I'm getting ready to put some Bible tabs on one of my Bibles, and I thought I would just talk about Bible tabs and Bible tools and some of the things that I use, because I had someone actually ask me specifically about Bible tabs to add to their Bible and what kind I have, and I actually have a few different kinds, and so I'm just going to kind of go through those, and then I'll share some of my other favorite things that I like to use when I'm studying my Bible. Now, when I'm talking about Bible tabs, I'm talking about these little tabs that go on the edge of your page so that you can easily find the different books of the Bible, because not every Bible has a thumb index like this one does right here. Or if they do have a thumb index, it may not be the kind that you like, and I'll explain that in a little bit. And of course, little Miss Ava just had to join me here, because anytime I film something at a table or desk, she has to come and participate. Don't you, Miss Ava? Now, if you've been around for any length of time, you know I have a few different Bibles, but a few of these right here are actually the exact same, the Scriptures Bible, and I'll explain why here in just a minute. Ava, baby, here, why don't you get on my lap and lay down? There you go, curl up. Alright, but Bible tabs. So I have these ones right here that you can see on my paperback softcover Scriptures Bible. These ones here are made by a company called Diverse Bee, and they come in all different color palettes and things like that. They've got nice big letters, so they're easy to read, easy to find what you are looking for. Now, these are a little bit on the thinner side, so if your Bible is in a purse or a bag or gets dropped on the floor, they might bend a little bit, but you know, you could just kind of bend them back and they'll be fine. So I do like these Diverse Bee tabs. If you want something that's a little more sturdy, I have right here, I have a leather version of the Scriptures, because I found that I really liked this one, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get a leather one, so because I just feel like they might last longer. I don't know. So I got the leather one and was using it and realized it had a thumb index. I didn't like the thumb index because it was in Hebrew, for one thing, which makes it a little bit harder if you don't know all of the Hebrew names of the books of the Bible. And then it was 4 books at a time, which made it not much of a time saver of a thumb index. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and add tabs to this Bible too. And I ordered another brand, and this brand is called Mr. Pen. And just like the Diverse Bee, they come in all different color palettes. This has nice bold letters and all of that. Now, these tabs are a little bit thicker, and so they're sturdier, and they're not going to get as easily bent as maybe the Diverse Bee ones. However, because they're so much thicker, what I did notice was it made the edge of your Bible pages, I don't know if you can see it, see how it kind of flares out right there? Because they're so much thicker, it makes the end of your Bible pages bulkier. So that's just something to be aware of. You know, if it bothers you, you know, you might not want to go this route, but they're nice and sturdy. And again, they come in all different color palettes, same as the Diverse Bee version. And then that brings me to the third kind of Bible indexing tabs that I have used. And I actually had to go on a little bit of a search to find what brand these ones were, because I really liked this brand of indexing tabs, but because I've had these for several years, I couldn't remember what the brand was. I had actually bought these in a Bible store in Alabama, a Christian bookstore in Alabama. And so I did some searching, and I actually found this brand. So this one is called Tabies. Tabies. And just like all of the others, you can get them in different colors. You can get like white ones with gold edging and things like that to make it look a little formal or fancy. But what I liked about these ones is they're a little bit smaller, but the letters are still nice and bold and easy to read. And they're laminated. So they're very durable. Let's see if you can see that. You can see they're a shiny laminate. So I think these are going to be a little bit more durable. And I like that the tabs are a little bit smaller because I just feel like it's easier to see all of the different books and to easily find exactly what you're looking for. These ones, the letters are easy to read because they're nice and big, but then your tabs kind of stick out quite a bit. So I really liked these. Went on a search, you know, figured out what brand they were. All right, so that brings me to this Bible. This is, I got Ava hair everywhere now. Thank you, Ava. This is the Scriptures, and it's the exact same Bible as this one right here. However, this came from a business, a leather business called Just a Nazarene Leather. And they took a bunch of Bibles and they wrapped them in real leather. And let me tell you, this is not like the leather that you know you get on a leather bound Bible. It is sturdy, heavy leather. I hope you can see that. And it smells like leather. When I opened the box that this came in, I was like, oh, that smells like a leather shop. It smells so good. I was really excited about this. I had seen where they were beginning to experiment with wrapping Bibles in leather. And so these were, they were kind of a prototype, but of course they sold out before I could get one. And they were so kind when, you know, they saw how excited I was and that I wasn't able to get one. They had more that they were going to make, and they set one aside for me exactly with the kind of leather that I was hoping to get, because I love this kind of aged, marbled look of the leather. And yeah, so I got this one that I had purchased from them, but they sent me a second leather wrapped Scriptures Bible as a donation for the Bible giveaways. Now it is wrapped in a darker leather. It doesn't have like this marbling color, but it is still that sturdy, just solid, smells like leather version of the Bible. But because this is a Bible that doesn't have any index or anything like that, and I personally just like having a thumb index of some sort, so I went ahead and I ordered some of the Tabies Bible index tabs. And so I'm going to go ahead and put these on my Bible. So they come in the sheets and you just kind of pull them apart and stick them on your pages. And they also have a little guide in here. So depending upon how big or you know how tall your Bible is, it's got the different measurements and it shows you exactly where to place all of the tabs so that you get that nice, you know, lined up pattern and can easily see all of the tabs. But I had one other thing that I wanted to share with you, something else that I had been asked about, and that is highlighters, pens, and things like that. So I write in my Bible. I do writing, I do highlighting, I very much use my Bible. You're gonna see stuff all over my Bibles. And you know, I get that some people don't like to do that. They don't like any kind of markings in their Bible, and that's fine. But I do. And I get questions about, you know, what kind of pens do I use and things like that. And so I just thought I would show you. I have two different kinds of pens that I really like to use. And one brand is the Micron. They are by Pigma Micron pens. These are a really popular pen. You can find them in craft stores and things like that. They come in all different colors. You can see that I have one that the puppy chewed on a while back. But these are great pens, and they come in different point thicknesses too. I like the 0.03 or the 0.01, just a really fine tip. The other pen, and this one's really my favorite, it's called Le Pen. And these also come in many different colors. You can get all different kinds of sets of these. I've been using these pens, Le Pen pens, for years. As a matter of fact, I've got a couple in my pen holder here, in my Bible cover. I've got some in my purse. I use them in my journal because they just have a nice fine point for writing, and you know, they come in all sorts of colors. And I like the way they write. They just write very well. And because they're so thin also, you know, they don't take up a lot of bulky space in your purse, your wallet, your Bible. You know, I can stick one of these inside my Bible and it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to make it like super bulky and make it weird that there's a pen inside there. So these are the pens that I use the most. And like I said, I've used these for probably a decade. I've used them forever. And then highlighters. Now for years I used the Sharpie, like these specific Sharpie highlighters. I just liked the way they wrote, but I started using some other ones because as far as I know, these are not acid free. The Le Pen pens, the Pigma Micron pens, these are all acid free archival pens. And so I had stopped using the Sharpie highlighters and I started using these other ones. So these are made by Zebra, that's the brand, and they are called mild liners. This is my 15 count set, and again, these are acid free. They are archival quality. They don't bleed through. They're water resistant, and you know, they're not going to make anything smear or smudge on your page. And what I like about these is not only the variety of colors, but they've got the thick end for your normal highlighting purposes, and on the other end they've got a fine point. So if you're just wanting to underline or circle things, you can do that without the big thick highlighter point. And I have a 15 count, here comes Ava again, and I've got a 15 count set, and then I've got another smaller fluorescent 5 count set. And so you can get these in a variety of colors, a variety of sizes of sets, and all of that. And again, acid free, archival quality, and all of that. And then recently, one of my very sweet subscribers sent me a set of her favorite highlighters when it comes to, you know, studying her Bible and things like that. And I love these ones too. These are called Bible High Gliders. And she sent me a 6-pack set. And these ones have a super bright color, so they're really easy to see on the page. But they're almost like a crayon. And little Miss Willow got a hold of a couple of these, so the point is a little bit gone. But you turn it up, you know, to get it to, you turn it up to bring out more of the color, but they're kind of like a crayon, and they just glide across the page. Really nice highlighters, and they're made specifically for Bibles. AccuGel highlighters study kit, won't bleed through any page, glides smoothly, won't smear, and then it even has a tip for using them for Bible study. You could use a different color for the who, what, when, where, why, and how, which by the way is a very good method when it comes to studying your Bible, because you want to know the context. Context is everything. But anyways, these are another great highlighter option because they are sort of crayon-ish. It does say on here, keep out of direct sunlight because they might melt. But these are really great highlighters as well. So, but that is it. I just wanted to share these things because I get questions from time to time about them. The pens I use, the highlighters I use, because people sometimes want to mark in their Bible, but they don't want to do anything that might harm the pages, or anything like that. So that is why, you know, everything that I have here, minus the Sharpie, but the pens, the highlighters and all that, all acid-free, all archival quality, so you don't have to worry about them damaging your Bible. And I have not had any issues with any of these causing the ink on the page to smear, because I have used some highlighters in the past that you would go and you'd highlight something and you would see the ink smudge, and that's, you don't want that. So but anyways, I am going to get started with putting my tabs in my Bible here, my new tabs. But let me, before I end this, let me talk real quick about why I've got all of these same versions, different versions of the same Bible. Initially I had gotten, well, let me back up because I actually have another one of these. The first version of the scriptures that I bought was their anniversary version. It's a large print. And it's a beautiful Bible, but it's a really big Bible. And for me, it's just too big to use on a regular basis. It just felt cumbersome to me. Great if you're using it on a table or a desk, but I didn't like how big it was, and so I never really used it. And then I ordered one of these, just the kind of soft cover version. And I really liked the size, and I really liked being able to use it to study with the scriptures version, because I do use different versions of the Bible. I will compare translations. It's really important to look at different translations to see how things are worded, because I don't believe there is a single version of the Bible out there that's perfect. You know, we are told to study and show ourselves approved. I think it's good to look at different versions and just expand our knowledge and understanding. So I had gotten this one. I like the size and everything. Of course, I added the tabs because, you know, I like being able to find the books quickly. And then one day I was on there, I was ordering some more of these because I've got a whole stack of Bibles from my giveaways. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get myself one of the leather ones to use, because it's about the same size. It's not you know, not too big or anything like that. However, this did have a thumb index in it, and if you look really carefully you can kind of see it in there, but the thumb index was in Hebrew, and if you don't know all of the names of the books in Hebrew, that can be a little bit difficult. And then each thumb index tab was 4 books at a time. And to me, that just wasn't a time saver. And so I went ahead and I added these tabs, but because there was already a thumb index in there, I couldn't put the tabs necessarily where I would want to put them. And so they're kind of a little oddly placed. And so that kind of frustrates me that I did that. And then of course, you know, I saw Nazarene Leather had done these, and I thought, you know what, it's the size I want, it's leather, let me get one. And yeah, so I figured I could just hang on to these, or I could give them away. But that is it for today. Thanks for joining me here, and I'm gonna get to working on installing my tabs. So that is it for today. Thanks for joining me here at the homestead, and I'm going to get to work. I'll talk to you all next time.